everyone. Today we have seen the patient requirement in a clinical trials or the participants who are the participate in a clinical trials, the basic recruitment for these participants in a clinical trials. About the clinical research, even though the study may be very small, designed or well funded, it cannot be bring a drug to the market without the availability of a suitable subject. The patient recruitment and the retention in a clinical trials will be recognized as the key bottleneck in a new drug development pipeline. The process of a new drug development extremely time consuming and expensive. The recruitment is of an appropriate subject takes place up to 30% of an clinical timelines, and so it is an issue that it must be considered before throughout the duration of a study. The internationally recruitment and retention of a patient is big challenge. More than 80% of global trials fail to enroll the time, with the 52% of delay by the 1 to 6 months. And failure to the recruitment patients on a time leads to the loss of over 85 to 95% of days in a clinical trials. It is the leading cause of missed clinical trials deadlines. The number of patients required to undergo the clinical trials for a new drug is steadily increases. The presently 5,300 subjects are needed for the as per the NDA, means new drug applications, and 18,000 clinical trials are underway in the US only. So the sponsors are recruitment plans before the instructing clinical trials to the particular site. The Indian is attracting the global attention in a field due to the availability of a large and essential treatments native patients pool. Other advantage including low cost, satisfactory medical infrastructure and scientific talent. However, the most of the trials in India takes place at the few well-known urban hospitals. As the number of clinical trials in India increases, it is a similar challenges in a recruitment may occur. The basic process of an recruitment of the patient is the patient recruitment strategies are rarely considered as earlier enough. Its inclusion or exclusion criteria is narrow defined. The budgets allocated for the effective recruitments are the inadequate. The enrollments deadlines is not realistic. The investigator may lack of the basic knowledge about the recruiting patients. The investigators may assume that he will be rely on his own database for the recruitment, which may be inadequate. The recruitment is waiting to the help advantage. Why do the patients join the clinical trials? The waiting to the help advanced knowledge of a disease in the interest of the society. Besides, the few altruistic individuals in the main resources for the participating includes the lack of availability therapy, improved medical care, and lack of the health insurance, advice from the family physicians, and due to the financial reason also. Next, it is what is a barrier to the participation? The Harris Interactive Survey is reported that 70% of the eligible patients choose not to participate in a clinical trials. The reason for not participating is risk and side effect of drugs, then center to the far away, then unable to find the trial, means awareness, then no enough or insufficient information about the drug use of drug. The participants in a clinical trials are access to gather the medical expertise, allows accessing to promising therapies, choose the or close the individual's medical care, something to break down or broken bear down, then altruism. Several ethical issues in a patient recruitment is the confidentiality and privacy of an personal health information. As a part of a recruitment process, the investigator has access to the patient health information. In the USA, this health information is protected by the federal law is called as the HIPAA, means the Health Insurance of an Portability and Accountability Act. Advertising of a clinical trial patient. Advertising is one of the way in recreating the protocols suitable patients in a clinical trials. There are the guidelines laid down by the ACP, GCP, Indian GCP and clinical trials regulations of the respective countries on the use of an advertising for the subject recruitments and clinical trials. All the advertising materials are proposed to the use for the subject, and recruitment in a clinical trial must be subjected or submitted to the IRB or IEC of an review and approval before it can be used. Next one, it is a undue influence, offering excessive or unwarranted or inappropriate or improper compensation as an attraction to the enrolled or remain complaint in a clinical trial is called as the using of undue influence. Then vulnerable populations, the patient who cannot be expected to choose what the right for themselves, or that is those who have the limitation to their capacity or freedom, it is a term as a vulnerable population.